Hi everybody. So I had an idea a couple of weeks ago and I've been in the process of executing it. I thought to myself, why don't I treat my artwork, the job I go to after my day job, why don't I treat that like my day job? Why don't I treat my artwork with the same respect as I would a 9-to-5 or a job that makes me money? It seems that we are very much in favor of a job that simply provides us security, and people will sacrifice their entire life simply for that security. And as of right now, I have a part-time job. It's been incredibly hard finding a full-time job where I live, but that has given me an opportunity to explore this idea that I had to treat my artwork as a kind of job and really take it seriously. So I'm going to walk you through kind of like a day of what I do and my routine, and kind of I'm going to check back in at the end with my thoughts on like how it makes me feel, and we'll see just kind of what kind of changes it makes in me and the impressions that it leaves on me. So without further ado, here is my routine. I go to the coffee shop whenever that's kind of like my studio, I guess. I don't really have one. I have one in my house, but I'm not as productive there during the day. I've been waking up a little bit more. So I go to the coffee shop, and this is what a day of working for myself looks like. Good morning, everybody. This might be the earliest that I've woken up in like a year. And I'm struggling a bit with it. But I told myself that I would get up earlier so that I could go to the coffee shop earlier and have more time to really work on things. So it is 8:45 right now. It takes me about an hour to get up. So, especially if I get up this early. So I'm gonna get ready very quickly. And then I'm gonna gather all of my things and I'm gonna go to the coffee shop. So basically this is like how I like to start my day, is creatively. I know that sounds kind of crazy, like getting right up out of bed and then just like going straight into like working and doing things, but I don't feel motivated now, but like once I get there and once I'm in the headspace, like I don't have any problem, gaining momentum and creatively. So on my days off, this is what I like to do. I like to get up earlier, only because this coffee shop closes at 2. Otherwise, I would not get up this early, but this is kind of forcing me to be a little bit more active during the day, because I used to not get up until like 2, until like the coffee shop closed. So I'm completely changing the way that I operate. So I like to get up earlier now and get to the coffee shop. So if I get there by 9, I'll have 5 hours to work on creative things. I have a few drawings in the works, 2 under drawings that are finished that I need to put into Procreate. I have a tattoo that I need to finish for a friend. And I have this YouTube video to create and edit. So busy. Teddy! It's in there. Right there. This used to be like an old government building, I think, and they repurposed the whole thing into like this giant sitting coffee shop. Okay, so I just finished my like shift, I guess, at the coffee shop. I was there for 4.5 hours and I'm like exhausted. I guess maybe it's because I didn't sleep very well, but I'm like dying. I'm really tired. I finished one of my under drawings and I did like a fancy little TikTok for that. That took most of the time. I finished some revisions for the tattoo that I was doing, and yeah, that's pretty much what I did the whole time. I attempted to work on Procreate, but then my iPod died, so yeah, it was a very successful time there. So now, so I intermittent fast, so I don't eat until usually 1 or 2. So I'm gonna go home now and I'm going to eat something small, you know, like a little snack, because if you're fasting and then you just straight up eat like a whole meal, you feel like your stomach's gonna explode. So I'm just gonna eat probably some like hummus with some little peppers or something, maybe some pretzels. My back is killing me because I didn't sleep well, so I'm gonna do some yoga and then make dinner. I usually stop eating around 11. It sounds weird to like mention my diet, but my diet really like matches my production and how my day goes and what my schedule is. Like, it's very easy for me to go into a coffee shop, for example, and drink coffee. Like, I usually get espresso or like a cold brew if I'm fasting, which has no calories, so I can drink it and it, you know, gives you that little caffeine boost and I can be productive. And then the coffee shop closes at 2, and that's also the time that I can start eating again. So I go home, make a meal. It's very, you know, there's a cycle going on, and it really keeps me in check. And then after dinner is when my like second phase of work starts. So after dinner, I'm going to start, to continue on my Procreate final drawing, because my iPad died, so I couldn't continue it in the coffee shop. So I'm going to try and finish that drawing tonight, hopefully. Sometimes, and more, ever since I started taking my work a little bit more seriously, I don't push out drawings in a night anymore. I used to be able to do that, but now I'm a little bit more contemplative over the color schemes and shapes and composition. So I could finish it tonight, but something tells me it's going to take longer than that, maybe 2-3 days. So yeah, that's going to be like my second shift of the day, which could take anywhere from like 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, depending on how long I choose to do it. So yeah, I'm gonna go home, cook some food, and then start shift number 2. Just to show you, I guess, this was the drawing that I was working on for this long. I changed a lot of things up. So I had been working on this. It had been considered to me finished for a while, and then I became dissatisfied with the composition and some of the shapes. So I changed the shape of the table. I changed the couch that they were sitting on. I, added this hand in there. I finished some more of the tiles, and then added the light in the back behind them, changed the girl's hair. I did a lot of amendments to this. So I had been working on this for a while. And then I put it into Procreate and started filling in. I put this one into Procreate and started filling in some of the body with a color. And that was all I got finished. But these were the 2 drawings that I was working on for so long. Okay, so it's about 10:30 right now, and I'm going to be starting shift number 2. This is a very regular thing for me. Whenever I get home after the coffee shop, I kind of just hang out. I might do some little things, but usually I'll make myself a snack. I'll do the pile of dishes that's usually in the sink. I'll just kind of mess around, go on my phone or something. And then I'll make dinner, and then I'll hang out with my boyfriend Joe for about 4 to 5 hours before he goes to bed, because we like to enjoy each other's company. I try not to really work whenever he's around because he gets really sad if I ignore him. So it is very typical for me to start working again and do my second shift of the day in the evening around 9:30 or 10:30 is when I'll start. And it will usually go until 1 or 2 in the morning, sometimes 3, especially if I'm editing a YouTube video or something. And that's even on days when I know I have work the next day, because I don't really like to let my day job decide what I can and can't do, and I will push myself to not get proper sleep just because I hate that my job dictates what I do, so I do whatever I want. So I don't care if I don't get enough sleep, as long as I know that I went to bed doing something that was productive in my art life, then that's fine. So I was supposed to stretch and do a little bit of yoga, okay, I'm a joke. It's literally just to make my body feel good a little bit. I'm not good at it, but I'll show you some of my moves. I didn't stretch earlier, so I'm just gonna do a 5 to 10 minute stretch right now, just some little poses to stretch out my back. And then I'm going to get started on my final drawing on Procreate for the second drawing that I showed in the video after the coffee shop. So we're gonna start that now. Okay, so something that I feel like I should show everybody is, this is a booklet that I printed myself at FedEx of all of my art breeder images that I really liked that I created. And if you don't know what art breeder is, I'll leave a link in the description, and I also have a video about it. So please take a look at that, because it's extremely helpful for artists. It is a general adversarial network that you input imagery into, and then you can make these really beautiful AI generated images. And what I do is I use them for inspiration, for color schemes, composition, shapes, forms, shading, light, whatever. I use them to my advantage. I do not copy them directly, but I use them for, I just created a booklet. There's about 40 here, 40 different images that I created, and I put them into a PDF document, and then I printed them out at FedEx, or UPS, I'm sorry, and they put it in this really nice little booklet. It's only like $5 to print the booklet out. Printing costs a little bit more. It was about $30 for this whole thing, but to me it was totally worth it because it's practically like a magazine. I can carry it around everywhere, every time I go to the coffee shop to do my work, and it is an outrageous, just beautiful source book that I can use whenever I kind of feel stuck and I need a little bit of assistance with inspiration. And these images are a lot more unique than going to like my favorite artists and just looking at what they're doing. These are images that are created specifically for me. So I highly, highly recommend using this source, this resource, because you're missing out, honestly, if you don't give it a try. Every artist, I think, should try this website out. So I just thought I'd show this to you really quick.
The artist is the hand of the matador. Science and charity, each won the gold medal at the Malaga Fine Arts Exhibition of 1897. Picasso was 16 when he painted it. His father posed as the doctor.
So now that you've seen kind of like what my routine is, the days that I work, you know, on my artistic stuff, I'm just gonna call it work now. Like, that's how I feel about it, because it is, you know, I'm dedicating myself to my artwork and treating it like a job. And ironically, it doesn't make me feel worse about it. But my artistic work days are, for me, that fit my part-time schedule with another job, my supplemental job, if you will. My coffee shop days are Monday, Thursday, and Friday. So I'll get up as early as I can, go to the coffee shop, finish at 2, come home, eat, and then I'll revisit my work around 10 on those days, always. And I will do sprinkles of work in between those days as well. But something I wanted to talk about that I actually discovered last week was a kind of realization about what I was doing and kind of where I was going with it. And so, you know, we're all insecure about things, regardless of what we tell ourselves and other people. But I can be a very insecure person. And I finally found out why. And I think that my realization is probably the root of everyone else's insecurity as well. It's the fact that for so long I was playing by other people's rules. Whether it was my parents telling me what to do, whether it's society, friends, whatever. I was always playing by society's rules, let's just say. And I never, until this video, until this experimentation that I did with my artwork, treating it like a job, I didn't realize that my insecurity could easily be taken away when I take control of my life. It sounds simple, right? But it really took like taking my vocation seriously to understand what that means to me. I cared about what people thought of me simply because I had to live in their world and their opinion did matter, because I had to abide their laws. But when I'm actively working towards my own dreams, I create my own world and I create my own laws and I follow my rules, because and then at the end of the day, their opinion doesn't matter anymore. Your opinion is not bettering me. If your idea of me is not bettering me in any way, it literally doesn't matter. Your thoughts, the outside society's thoughts and views of you are not currency at all. They don't do anything for you. And once you start living in your own world that you create, such as people with small businesses or artists who have been able to make a living off of their art, or whatever vocation any of you have that you decide to take seriously and make into your job, your full-time job, sacrifice things for that job to make it your full-time job. You're creating your own world. You don't need other people's opinions anymore. It's not like you've overcome something, like you finally don't give a shit about what people think about you. It's not like it just happens. Because you realize that their opinions are no longer useful. And so I walked out of the coffee shop that one day, just, after cranking out work for 5 hours, literally spending my time enriching myself. And I felt so at peace. I felt so serene and just in this perfect kind of armor that I had made for myself that is my own self-reliance. And that I sound like a self-help book right now. I sound like the guy on a YouTube ad that's like, you can do this too, look at my Tesla. But for real, I'm not fully realized yet, okay? I'm young and impressionable, and it takes a really long time. This isn't like a get rich quick, like become an artist, become the person you want to be quick type thing. Like, it does take a few realizations, a few jobs that you hate, doing things you don't like in order to direct you into the path that you want to go. I walked out that day after going to college for 4 years, after being at home for a year and working at a job that I didn't like, and now I feel ever more forced in the direction to do what I want. It's different for everyone. Everyone has their limits. And my limit was this place where I live now, Hawaii. My limit was having a degree, being an artist, and working at a restaurant. It's degrading to me. I think to myself, I'm more than this, and if anything is going to get better, I better try and get out of this situation. And that's what I'm doing. That's what this routine is me taking my artwork seriously for once in my life. Everyone sidelines their artwork. I'm saying artwork, and I'm talking to artists specifically, but I don't care what your vocation is. Stop putting it on the side. If it's something that genuinely makes you happy and it provides some kind of principle that you can learn from, and it is always new and challenging, stop saying it's your side hustle. Stop saying that it's something that you come home after your day job to. That should be something that you focus on. Your dentist job, your restaurant job, your waitressing job, whatever, you're working at a credit union, I don't care. That's not your vocation. Stop sidelining your artwork for that bullshit to like pay for your mortgage. money's important. Don't get me wrong. It's incredibly important. And you can't have that vocation. You can't have artwork without money. But at this point in my life, I've seriously, man, I will do anything. I will sacrifice almost anything, several different comforts of mine, in order to either work part-time or to not work at all, and to only focus on my vocation, my artwork, my goddamn calling in life, because anything else drains you. A 40-hour week job it's so, you come home, you don't even want to do artwork. You're drained. Even if you're standing around and talking to people all day, it's draining. You don't want to come home and do a second shift for your, for your hobby or whatever. And then you save it for the weekend, but you also want to go out and do other stuff. Like, basically, this video is a testament to myself. From now on, I will take my artwork seriously, and I will do what is absolutely necessary to get me into a position where I can live off of my artwork. YouTube is one of these things. And my literal artwork. I will do anything. I will do what I can in this situation and others in order to put myself in a position where I'm truly happy and I feel independent, and I feel that I can come home and look at myself in the mirror and say that I'm happy. That I can wake up in the morning, go to my coffee shop and get my nice little silky cappuccino and draw for 5 hours and do whatever YouTube stuff I need to do. And I don't dread waking up. That's what I want. Even on 2 hours of sleep, and I know I have to do my work, my artwork, I want to wake up and I want to be happy. Because that's how I woke up that day. That's how I woke up. I think it was last Thursday. I woke up knowing that I had stuff to do, important things in my eyes to do, to finish. I had a lot of projects that I needed to work on. Was I sad that I had to get up or that I only got 5 hours of sleep? No. I woke up, I got out of bed in 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Usually it takes me like an hour to get out of bed. I have to set my alarm extra early so that I can go to my crappy day job. I hate getting out of bed. Do what makes you happy. Pretty much. That's what this video was about. It's important. And especially in our time, we have the resources to be able to do what we want. It used to really not be like that. And we have every luxury, even in the worst situations for people. We have every possibility to be able to follow our dreams and to be able to follow our passions. Life is significantly easier than it used to be. I'm not saying it's gonna be like perfect and easy to get there, but we have way more opportunities at our fingertips that we can use if you're smart. Find ways to do it, hack life, basically. So that's the end of this video. Because if not, I'm just gonna rant more, self-help crap to all of you for another 10 minutes. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it inspires you to do what I'm doing and tell me what your progress is. If this worked for you, if you felt that feeling that I felt last week, that epiphany of like independence and peace, and just let me know if you have felt that, if you're, no matter where you are along the trek of your life, if you're in the very beginning of realization or you're at the end, I want to know your story. It's inspiring and it's uplifting. So, yeah. That's the end of this video. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.